Hi, welcome. Today I have a pick a card reading for the Twin Flame energy update. So this is for people who are in separation right now, obviously, because that's where I'm at. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be using 4 decks, and if you are wondering what decks they are, just leave a comment below. So this time, I usually do 3 or 2 stacks, but I think I'm going to do 4 this time. So go ahead and pick a number from 1 to 4, or you can just wait until I shuffle the cards and then, you can see the cards and which stack, and pick which stack resonates with you the most. Okay, so I think I'm going to begin with this. Just going to shuffle them a few times. And then I'm going to pick the card. I'll be doing what I did last time, which is shuffling and then cutting the deck, because sometimes it takes a while for cards to fall out, and I think, cutting the deck and then picking a card then works just as great. Okay. So here we go. A lot of people have been asking me about this deck. It's the one with the artwork and the quotes on the bottom. This is called the Art of Life Tarot deck. But we'll be using this as well. Actually, you know what? I should do this one first. This is the Soul's Journey one. I forget who it's by, but it's called Soul's Journey. Oops. Alright, so a card fell, and that's going to be for this first stack. But I'm going to cut the deck and then do the rest. So this one is next, and like I said, this one is the Art of Life one. It's called the Art of Life Tarot. And I really love this deck, actually. It shuffles really well. I don't know, I just like the feel of it and the vibes it gives off. I think it's one of my favorites now. Okay. So bear with me. You can probably skip to the picking of the cards if this bores you. But I don't know, do you guys like it when I shuffle like on camera or when it's already pre-shuffled? Okay, and then the last deck. This is the Centennial Rider-Waite. It's basically a deck that's borderless, and the colors are different. And I like the colors of this one a lot. It's so nice. It just gives it this vintage old look, which you've probably heard if you've been watching tarot videos, but it truly is the best way to describe it. Okay, so I'm going to cut the deck. Okay, go ahead and pick which stack you resonate with the most, or the stack which you feel like picking. You can also put your hand over the screen like this and see which one calls out to you the most. So if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video, but I'm gonna get started. Move this to the side real quick. So for those who pick the first stack, you have, I'm not reading reversals, 6 of Wands, with the Four of Pentacles, and it says, ordinary riches can be stolen. Real riches cannot. In your soul are infinitely precious things that cannot be taken from you. Oscar Wilde. So if you're familiar with the tarot, this is when the man is sitting on something. In the traditional tarot, I mean, this is when a man is sitting on like a chest and he's grasping a pentacle and he's stepping on two pentacles, kind of in like a selfish manner, like he doesn't want it to be stolen kind of way. Then you have courage and spiritual partnership. So since this is a twin flame reading, this is a perfect card to see. The rest of the cards are basically telling me that there's this feeling and desire of wanting to have victory, or even having victory, like you're fighting your twin almost, or yourself, and this is what you want. You want to win. You know, you're either running away, you're a runner, and you're running away, and you want to make sure that you're the one that moves on quicker, and you're the one that has the better life, and things like that. And this is kind of bringing you to this energy, which is feeling like you have to compete in order to have something, in order to keep something. So there's insecurity there, there's feelings of scarcity, lots of ego here, insecurity, like I said already, but just almost an internal battle going on, which I can totally relate with. So this can mean that this is just the energy between you and your twin right now. You know, you're battling each other for who has a better life and who's moved on and everything. But the message here is to have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So the reason why you're feeling this kind of defensiveness is because you're afraid that you're either going to lose this very significant spiritual partnership. You're afraid that you might lose it forever because it really matters to you, but you're almost denying it or kind of pushing it to the side because of your ego, and you're not allowing yourself to be fully vulnerable like you need to be, as difficult as that is. So have courage and be vulnerable, you know, allow this fear and understand that it doesn't have to have power over you. You know, you can just accept it and know that it's there because it's important to you. This thing is important to you. This union and this relationship is important to you. So, right now you are in a competition with each other. That's the energy that I'm getting. There's almost wanting to hold on to this person selfishly. Like I said, this is a twin flame reading of people in separation. So this card to me is saying you're very fearful that this is not real. You're not twin flames, or your twin flame's gonna find somebody else. So you're holding on for dear life and you want to win. But you have to have courage and understand that, you know, no matter what, even if union doesn't happen, and hopefully it does, but if it doesn't, then you can still thrive without your twin, as hard as that may be. So have courage, you know, be vulnerable. Stop trying to win over them all the time, because this is a spiritual partnership, and as spiritual beings, you know, it goes against spiritual laws to compete with somebody. There's a quote that I really love. It's, the flower doesn't think about competing with the flower next to it, it just blossoms. So I think that that's what is the message here for you. So I hope that helped you. So let's move on. For those who picked stack 2, you have the 10 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, guilt, and music. So what I'm getting is that your twin is really working on his finances or her finances right now and building a foundation for themselves. They want to be financially stable. They want to be independent, and naturally that has everything to do with finances and financial stability. So that's their whole thing, and I think that drove a wedge between you because they were very focused on that to the point that you can almost feel unimportant or less important somehow. And I think they're feeling guilt because now they're understanding that, you know, that desire for them to have this type of stability, this financial stability, did affect your relationship and your love, and they're feeling that right now. And this music is interesting. I think that your twin is dealing with these emotions of guilt with music. They really find that music helps them, and that could be a message for you as well. So with these types of readings, like, I'm reading the cards for people who resonate with it, but if you're reading this, if you're watching this and it doesn't resonate with you, then it's probably because I'm not giving the right examples. So the right examples that would resonate with you. So if you understand tarot even a little bit, just take a look at the cards and, see them for what they are and how they pertain to you, and use my examples as a kind of guidance to read them for yourself. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what this quote has to say, because I love these quotes. Wealth stays with us a little moment, if at all. Only our characters are steadfast, not our gold. So the King of Pentacles, he's obviously financially savvy, but he handles himself well. He's grounded in that. He's not, yes, he likes luxury. Yes, he likes material things that look very nice and are probably expensive, but he's not overly cocky with it. He's matured in his view of money or gold. And so I think that that's really what your twin is working on right now, and ultimately it's really a benefit for you in the end, if and when union happens, and hopefully it does happen for you. But he's doing that so eventually you guys can enjoy that when you guys have union. And yeah, it did drive a wedge between you, and that's what he's feeling, and that's what he's healing from, is like this guilt of like creating separation. But he's trying to heal himself, and he's being patient, and he knows why he did this, or she knows why she's doing this. I keep saying he just because I'm a feminine, but obviously it's whoever your twin is, she or he or whatever. That's who it's for, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna try to be mindful of that. But that's what's going on right now, so you can rest in the fact that your twin does care about you. He or she just wants to build a better life, and that's great. It's gonna take some sacrifices to get there. Long hours, sleepless nights, phone calls. Maybe he won't be able, or she won't be able to hang out with you a lot because they're pursuing their dreams and just, wanting to build a home that you can feel safe in. But if you're a man, I think it could be read as your twin wants this from you. And you may be feeling guilty because you don't have it yet. I think music will inspire you. So look for music that can do that for you. I love oldies. I love this song, Sitting by the Dock of the Bay, Georgia, things like that. I personally feel like really inspire me. You know, a lot of music is inspiring, and it can really, really uplift somebody. So make sure that you expose yourself to that kind of music. But yeah, that's the message that's coming through. I hope that made sense. And that is for stack 2. Alright, so I must admit, I forgot which one is the third stack. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess, and it's this one up here. If I'm wrong, I'll edit it. But for those who picked stack 3, you have the 2 of Swords, the 6 of Cups, Adversity, Happy Ending. Okay, first and foremost, don't worry about anything. You will have a happy ending. This is a great card. I just love it. It's bright, it's uplifting. I love the color of it, and it's like it gives me a sigh of relief, like, whew, everything is gonna be okay. But for your twin flame union energy and just what's going on, obviously you're in separation, so that's adversity. You know, you may be having trouble deciding, is my twin or not? Or should I date other people? Is this journey worth it? I don't know. Should I give up? Should I stay? So it's like, I totally resonate with this because this is where I am right now. And if you're curious about my own personal journey, I have this blog that I write about my twin flame journey on. It's lavenasdemars.wordpress.com, and I'll go ahead and put that on the video or the description. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's a very difficult challenge because for me, like, I don't know if I'm right. It feels like I'm right, but how am I supposed to know, like, the absolute things? Like, anything could happen. Somebody new could come and totally change my mind on everything, and this person that I'm thinking is my twin flame could just be another false twin. But yeah, that's, you know, the challenge here. It says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So it's a matter of, like, do I want to have faith? Yes, it's worth it, if that's what you're thinking. So I just gotta bear this pain. I have to surrender. That's what this is saying. And ultimately, you can rest in the fact that everything will be okay. And here you have 6 of Cups. God gave us memory so that we might have roses in December. This is such a beautiful quote. I love this card, the 6 of Cups. It's about nostalgia almost. It's about memories. It's about, I feel like it's almost about past lives. But for me, this is a twin flame card because in the regular tarot, it's when the little boy gives this cup with flowers to this little girl, and it just gives you a feeling of, like, the past and nostalgia, and I love it. And I think it's a twin flame card because I had a very similar memory in my youth, and that energy of that card just reminds me of my twin and I energetically communicating through dreams, or, you know, as a child being very energetically adept and, you know, in tune. I could feel myself connected to my twin as young as 5 years old. So this card definitely resonates with me. But this is telling me in relation to the other cards is, you know, think about the good times. I mean, you can totally, like, torture yourself and think about the bad times, but think about the good times and think about why it's, you feel like this is your twin, and why you feel like this is important for you, and why you feel like you should fight for it. But also, because you're having trouble right now, and it's challenging, and perhaps you're in pain emotionally and your heart is heavy. Think about times that make you happy, or think about thoughts that make you happy is what I'm getting. You know, for me, this energy is subtle, it's gentle, it's sweet. But there's something about it I can't put into words. It's just a beautiful card. So I think it goes hand in hand with this. You know, remember those good times in your childhood. You know, bring yourself back to that childlike wonder and energy. Because you're going to have a happy ending in this situation. It's just a reminder for you. I feel like people who pick this card needs that reminder. Like, yes, you're going through adversity and confusion right now, but everything will be okay. You know, think positively. Think about the good times. And, you know, have the courage to overcome this. And maybe even decide. Just go for it. Just decide if this person is your twin or not, or if it's worth it or not for you. Which is easier said than done, because I've said to myself plenty of times, like, I decide that I'm going to fight for this, and then the next day I'm just like, nah, I don't know. This is too hard. But that's the message for you, and I hope you got something out of that. Even a little bit would be very awesome. Okay, for those who picked stack 4, you have the Chariot. So I'll be honest with you, this is the stack that I picked. The 8 of Swords. Interesting. I'm trying to remember the 8 of Swords. Discipline. And surrender. Okay. Whew, I can't even see it. That makes sense for me since I chose this stack, so I'm gonna go from there. The 8 of Swords in the traditional tarot is when a girl is standing by like some, I think there's some kind of water, like on the land, and there's swords on the ground, and she's blindfolded and tied up. So that's the 8 of Swords in the traditional tarot. So we can read that. It says, oh my gosh, it's gonna focus, right? Okay. You can never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. So the 8 of Swords, especially in relation to this particular tarot card, I think is talking about anxiety, stress, feeling fear, of course, instability, but definitely fear and anxiety. And of course, this is a twin flame reading, so it's about the twin flame energy. What I'm sensing is that one of the twins, or both, have anxiety because it's painful to be apart from your twin, and so, you know, you're feeling that kind of push and pull and this desire to be with your twin, but then they're not acting in the way that you want to act, you want them to act, or you want to be treated, so it's like they're not worth it, and you're like pushing and pulling. And that's what's creating this anxiety. But there's the Chariot, and so there's going to be movement. There's movement happening. It's just a matter of, I think, in relation to the rest of the cards, patience, and faith. This to me is a card of movement and action and travel. So the union is happening. It's coming together, okay? Even through whatever this anxiety is. Then you have discipline. Or we have discipline. It says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So what is it that you want? Like, do you want to just accept the the separation and just maybe enjoy yourself with a soulmate or somebody else for now and see where that could lead. You know, you have to discipline yourself to ground yourself and to take charge of your energy, because it can be very, very draining when the energy is ungrounded. It's just everywhere and you feel it everywhere, and it's like so painful, especially if you're in separation with your twin. Like, that's your mirror, that's your home, that's you, essentially. And that's why you feel that pull and that tension or the anxiety, because like ultimately, even if you don't consciously realize it, that's what you want, that's what your soul wants. And so it's constantly trying to pull you there, energetically speaking. There's resistance, either from you or from fear or from your twin. And this is saying surrender, okay? You want union, but you're afraid. Surrender to all of that. Surrender to all those feelings. And 9 and 1 is 10, so that's completion. And then for the first card, you have the Chariot, which is a 7, and that's like a spiritual number. That's God's number, isn't it? So it's like, this is a beautiful thing. This is what you have to go through. This is the journey, and it'll come full circle. But what you need to do right now is discipline yourself. You know, think it through. Like, maybe you're feeling anxiety because you're afraid. And I say that because of the 8 of Swords. So if you're feeling anxiety or fear because you're afraid that it'll block you from, because you're afraid that something will block you from union, whether it be somebody or distance or something, or insecurity in yourself, you have to have the discipline to work through that. So you have to heal yourself, love yourself, you know, really, really grasp the fact that, yeah, your twin might be dating other people, sleeping with other people. Have discipline in terms of thought as well, because the Swords is about intellect and the mind, right? So discipline your mind to think things through, think your emotion to be healed. That kind of sounded weird. What I meant to say was, heal your unfavorable emotions through logic. You can even surrender through logic, but you can surrender also in the feeling body. But sometimes it helps to surrender logically and intellectually. And that takes discipline of its own. Like, maybe discipline for you and for me could be something like meditation, working out more, getting your mind off of it, staying away from places that remind you of them if that really is painful for you. For me, like, I'm taking an Instagram hiatus, so I'm not going to be posting for a long time, because a lot of the people that I follow on there, they know my twin or my assumed twin, and they just like, they post about his events, like the dates of it, to be like supportive. So my discipline is that I'm gonna stay off Instagram until I'm fully healed, because every time I see it, as happy as I am for him and what he's doing for himself in the world, it just triggers me, and my heart becomes heavy again just when I thought that I was healed. So it's like, for me, it's a matter of surrendering to that feeling and like allowing it and bearing it, and being strong enough to carry it with me as long as it may stay, even if it's painful. But this is a definitely awesome card, because it just reminds me, like, things are moving, things are happening. Just have faith and patience. And so, yeah, I hope that resonated with people, and I hope that you got something out of that message as well. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like, and comment. and I will see you in the next reading.